Welcome back to the Transforming the Toddler Years podcast. Today, we are talking about meltdowns, and we talk about these a lot because what are meltdowns really? They are emotions moving through our body, and we have to express them in some way. And when kids don't have the ability to really understand what they're feeling and put labels to it, but more importantly, have the strategies to soothe their own selves from a place of discomfort back to a place of calm and center, is when they melt down. It is literally a communication for help. So, I wanted to share a story today of a recent experience that I had collaborating with a 2.5-year-old and supporting her through the emotions she was having and then giving her choice inside those emotions. And I think that's where we fall down as adults. Our heart gets triggered when we see a child crying, literally crying for, I don't understand how I feel. I'm upset in this moment. I don't know how to process what I'm doing. And so I'm just going to cry. And our heart gets triggered. And so our natural instincts are to solve it by stopping the crying. But crying is good. You and I need to cry. Sometimes we need to let out that big feeling that's inside of us. Recently, I put my daughter on a plane to Japan where she will be for a long period of time. She's moved there, and I had to spend a day or two inside my feelings, using the strategies that soothe me when I'm feeling big stuff. Some of them are healthy, my meditation, my walking, my talking to friends about it, and picking spaces where I know I can just be who I am and I will be fully accepted no matter what I'm emoting. Some of them are not so healthy. The terribly delicious junk food that I consumed, the too many TV shows I did a little binge watching on. But inside all of it, I knew why I was choosing those activities to soothe my hurting soul. So I had the opportunity to babysit for a 2.5-year-old recently. Her parents are longtime clients and even better friends because clients often turn into that in my world. And they were out for the evening. And the daycare provider dropped off this little girl to me, and I was waiting for her at her house. So she went from known environment to known environment. Her parents had fully prepared her that Heather was going to be dropping her off to Cara and that mommy was not going to be there until after dinner. They had told her, forecasted, done all the work that they know how to do to set a little person up for the best possibility for success. But still, this sweet little nugget, she was sad. She wanted her mom. I'm sure you can relate, right? And she just happens to also be, cosmically in that mommy, 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 I prefer mommy. Everything has to be about mommy phase. So this was kind of a 1-2 punch to her. So we made the transition into the house and she was crying. And she was looking out the window at the driveway where mom's car would be and crying. I want mommy. Those were her words. It was triggering, of course, because it's sad. It's sad to see somebody struggle. But removing her struggle was not the answer. It's my job to sit inside of it and allow it. When you allow the emotions, however they're coming through, you allow the struggle. And when you allow the struggle, you allow the child the opportunity to process and move it through, but also to make a new choice. This idea of collaborating inside big emotion, it's not one that's talked about a lot. How often do you hear people around you, maybe you say it yourself, say, stop crying? When we say stop crying, what are we saying? We want them to stop because we want them to feel better. But the message we're actually sending is stop feeling. Stop feeling your emotions right now. Put them away and put on that happy face, whether you feel it or not, because that's another way that we show how we feel. And let's move on, because it's really uncomfortable to sit inside a crying experience. Wow. We don't want them to stop crying right away. We want them to truly feel what they're feeling and then work with them to choose a different feeling. This is consciousness. That consciousness inside of your child, you're developing it. The ability for them to have some inner self-talk and say, right now, I am not feeling good inside my body. Right now, I am feeling sad, scared, overwhelmed, frustrated, whatever it might be. It's okay that I feel that way. And now I need to choose my next feeling. That's how you bring yourself back to center. And I am telling you, a 2.5-year-old can do it too. So this is what it sounded like when she was crying. I want mommy. Yes, you miss your mom right now. You're feeling so sad. And that's okay. Mommy's car is not in the driveway. No, mommy will be back after dinner. Good news, mommy is putting you to bed tonight. I knew this was one of her worries, right? She didn't have all the presence of mind to be able to say out loud, I want mommy to do bath. I want mommy to do bed. I don't like the idea of doing that without her. So I gave her the information she needed. I have good news for you. Mommy will be doing bath tonight. Mommy will be doing bed tonight. Still sad. Looking at me now, interested in what I have to say, but sad and crying. Yeah. And then I said to her, this permission statement. I gave her a permission slip. I'm not trying to change how she's feeling. I'm just giving her opportunities. I said, you are allowed to be sad and you are allowed to cry. And if that's what you want to do, then go for it. I will be here with you when you're crying. If you choose that you want to have some fun, I am here for that too. You let me know when you're ready and what you would like to do. I just sat there and she cried for another couple seconds. And then she took a deep breath and she looked at me still with that ragged, sad, emotive voice. And she said, I think I choose to have some fun. Great. I would love to have fun with you. What do you think would be fun to do? And she thought, as she was still crying, we can feel more than one thing at a time, people. As she was still crying, she was processing because I gave her a chance to turn on her brain, right? And say, there's another opportunity here for me. She said, I think I'd really like to play Play-Doh. And we did. And I'll be totally honest with you, like I always am. throughout the few hours that we were together, she cycled back through moments of sadness, tears, and window watching, and back into fun. And it was okay that she do that. Just because she cycled through it once, I didn't expect her to never return to those feelings of missing her mom. They're still there. We were just choosing a different reality for stretches of time and then allowing her to feel her feelings again. This is how we do this as well-rounded, adjusted, self-actualized adults. And you can start your toddler, your preschooler, on the path now of understanding how to honor their feelings while still choosing to be engaged in the setting that they're in. So managing meltdowns does not have to be a mitigation or a power struggle. You don't have to bait them with little carrots and say, if you stop crying, then I'll give you this. You don't have to bully them into, why do you always cry about this? Every time something doesn't go your way, you just cry. There are so many other ways to grow their little personal soul, their cognitive awareness, to arm them with strategies to soothe themselves in the world, because that is our job, to prepare our kids for independence by these interactions that we have with them here at home. Ooh, this was a really special moment for me to revisit, especially while I was currently soothing myself after I put my daughter on that plane. So we are always in stages of feeling and emoting. And if you want to learn more about how to support your children collaboratively through these meltdowns, then I invite you to download my free guide, 5 Mindful Mantras for Managing Toddler Meltdowns. I record the audios for you too, so you can literally have me in your ear, calming you so you can calm your child. Until next episode, stay mindful and proactive as we transform the toddler years.